Hey, welcome back to Snap Bold Games. My name is Max, and we're here with another Pauper League, and I'm going to be playing some Black White Soul Sisters Bully again. Before I get into the changes I made and this deck, let me say my channel is youtube.com/snapbolt. There's a link down below to subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it if you do. It helps me out. Throw a like on this video, and there's a link below that in the description. Just go to the channel, a bunch of Pauper content on there, play some other formats as well, but mostly been playing Pauper recently. So go check out the channel, subscribe if you like the content, and let's just get right into this deck tech and league. Okay, what is this deck? This is a Soul Sisters deck, and we're combining Soul Sisters with Blight Priest. I've been working on this deck, and I like the changes that we've made so far. So I had the 5-drop Epicure of Blood that also has the same ability as Blight Priest, but after listening to more actual good players telling me to cut it, I did cut it. I just sided it out a fair amount. 5 mana is a lot. Yeah, it was reasonable, but I just don't think we actually need it. Um, and then I also have cut Core Skyfisher. I just felt like whenever I cast it without bouncing exactly Thraben Inspector, it just wasn't for enough value. I was just like bouncing something for another trigger or bouncing land, replaying. The 2/3 body was good. The fact that it's a white creature is really important. I'll get to that later. But I think it just wasn't quite good enough. So I cut all 4 of the Core Skyfishers, went back to 3 on Earth, trying 2 Palace Sentinels. It's another white creature, which is good, and we have a lot of ways to protect and take the Monarch. And then added a couple removal spells and just cast down, just because it's a really strong card. So again, I keep talking about like it being a white creature is important. I think you want all your creatures to be white creatures, specifically for Battle Screech, just because you have to tap 3 untapped white creatures. So if you're playing a fair number of black creatures in addition to Blight Priest, then it's just hard to flashback Battle Screech. So you want all your other creatures to be white if possible. Not to mention just like it's good on the mana to have a bunch of white creatures. But we actually, I forgot to mention, I got the new Time Spiral Thraben Inspectors. These look pretty sick, so I'm excited to cast these. But it's still the same shell, just Blight Priest, triggering the Soul Wardens a bunch of times, draining them out, playing Hawks, Battle Screech. So it's kind of like a Boros Bully deck, but instead of the red like Faithless Looting and Lightning Bolt. We're just playing Night's Whisper, Blight Priest, and then the combo. But then we're playing the same kind of shell of Hawk, Battle Screech, go wide, make a bunch of tokens, Thraben Inspector, Palace Sentinels. I'm trying one Bonder's Ornament. I'm not sure about this. It seems like it's going to be good to me. Just a good draw engine for the late game. It's good against other Bonder's Ornaments. Just gives us more mana. It just does everything that Bonder's Ornament does in any deck. And I think one is fine. Originally, I just jammed a Read the Bones because I wanted more card advantage. And then I was like, if I'm going to play Read the Bones, that's like a one-time use card advantage spell. But if I just play Bonder's Ornament, it's actually better against Bonder's Ornaments, and it's a card advantage engine that is just good in like a really grindy long game, which is where I would want Read the Bones anyway. So I was like, let me just try Ornament over Read the Bones and see how that goes. I cut the Secluded Step, I cut an Ash Barrens, I added a Plains and a Basilica. The Basilicas seem like they're going to be good. This deck is actually more mana hungry than you would think, just between like Night's Whisper, Battle Screech, now Ornament. And we draw a lot of cards actually. Thraben Inspector, Crack Clues. So 3 Basilica seems like it's going to be good. Could even be 4. But I like this mana base. We're just splashing black basically, even though it looks like we have a fair amount of black cards. Look at all these white 1-drops we have. So we want to maximize our untapped white sources. So that's why I cut Step. A little less value, but it seems good. Sideboard is getting a little bit more tuned. I added a Crimson Acolyte. Seems good against sweepers. And we also added double Shields of Velisvale. Is that how you say it? Shields of Velisvale. I'm just going to say shields. It's too hard to say. So 1 mana, creatures target player controls get +0/+1 and gain all creature types. The more I thought about this card, I think it's actually worth it to run it. Because I was thinking, okay, it just counters Cannonade because your creatures become pirates. They become all creature types. That's cute, but do I really want it? But then I was like, wait a second. Think about all the wraths that you're trying to protect from. Cannonade, Electrickery, Suffocating Fumes. I mean, that's pretty much it. It doesn't really stop like Pestilence or Crypt Rats, but nothing really stops those. I guess Strands can kind of, but not really. But this counters the three main rats for one white mana. So I think this actually does have a place. Like just being able to counter Cannonade, Fumes, and Electricity for one seems like it's where we want to be. Just getting it to bring in some duress and shields seems strong there. Went down to one Guardian's Pledge. I think this card is still going to be fine, but I'm not sure how strong it actually is. And then we still have two Disenchant, one Leave No Trace, one Scorn. I don't know what's better between Leave No Trace and Scorn, but I've kind of liked the mix so far. And then just one Spellbomb to round it out for value for whatever. All right, let's just jam this league. Let's go. All right, welcome to round one. We're against G-Wreck. Get wrecked. Nice. Would you like to play first? Yes, I would. Yeah, we're going to keep this hand for sure. This hand is actually great. This is where Basilica looks great because I get to go turn one, one drop, turn two. Oh, let me fix the game log. I'm going to forget that a bunch this league, I'm sure. Um, yeah, turn one, one drop, turn two, one drop plus bounce land, and then turn three, have three mana. And this hand just looks like a great Soul Sisters hand. So this is sweet. Hopefully we're against burn with this hand. Okay. Looks like we might be up against just elves. It could be defenders as well. Yeah, I'm going to stick to the plan and get the Basilica down this turn. Could have played Suture Priest. Maybe I was supposed to because I can drain them for a bunch, but I can just play it next turn. And I do kind of want to get my Basilica down. I'm not going to attack. I want to keep these. If I draw Blight Priest, I might be able to just win with that. All right. This is elves. Do they have another elf? Looks like it. Essence Warden. Interesting. Scoured Barons. Okay. Well, maybe I can just get there with these Battle Screeches and gaining a bunch of life, and then a little drain from Priest, and that's probably what we're just going to have to rely on here. But if they have like a Timberwatch Elf, that could be rough for us. All right, let's set up these yields. Let's yield to this. Yes, and yield. And now we're good. Now I can just start casting Battle Screeches. And then I'm gaining so much life. So I'm just going to be gaining 12 life on each Battle Screech I cast. Hopefully I can just draw a Blight Priest here. Then that would just basically seal this up, I think. Drain them for one. They gain one. It's pretty funny. They do have a Well-Wisher. Interesting. So I can't let them draw like a Distant Melody. That will wreck me. This is an interesting matchup for sure. The Essence Warden against the Suture Priest is funny. We do have two cast downs in the deck, so even if this gets like to be too big to manage, I can eventually find cast down. So they have 0 cards in hand. I have double Battle Screech, but they have a Well-Wisher, so that's something. Again, I do get to gain 12 life per Battle Screech here. Soul's Attendant. All right, well, yeah, I could gain more life by playing Souls first, but definitely want to get pressure down to start counteracting their Well-Wisher. So I think it's a pretty obvious Battle Screech plus Flashback Screech here. Yes, and yield. And then let's just Flashback Screech. I guess tapping like this. Stack all these triggers. And pass the turn. We're at 42. They can start gaining 6 per turn. Oh, Lissalana? Okay. That's bad, but that's beatable. I mean, again, we do just need to find Blight Priest here, and then that's going to make a huge difference. Because if I drop Blight Priest here, it's actually pretty insane. Then I can go like Blight Priest into Soul Warden land. That's too bad. So we go Soul's Attendant, bunch of triggers, then land, Battle Screech. And we have card advantage as well. We have Night's Whispers. We got stuff to do. Always yes. And then I attack for 4 in the air. They don't have any reach. They don't have any Jaspera Sentinels yet, so that's good for me. They're at 35, and I just basically have to have them not draw one of their card advantage spells before I start finding my stuff here. Oh, I almost forgot to flashback Screech. Oh my god. That would have been pretty bad. Just tap these 3, whatever. Okay, I'm at 57. Fintorn Elves, sure. Let's yield to this. So they stay even on life. I gain 3. Can finally always yes and always yield to that. I'll yield to this. Then I can F6. Okay. So I want to draw Cast Down. I want to draw, I mean, Night's Whisper is basically one of my best draws. I could even cast down a Well-Wisher potentially. Thraben Inspector's not bad. There you go. I'll take a Thraben. I think I'll just tap Basilica plus Plains when I crack Clue here. So many triggers. This is pretty sweet. Investigate. Crack. There's Night's Whisper. Sure. I could save this Scoured Barrens just to trigger 1 more life, but I think just playing the tap land is going to be better here. So I go to 58. I attack for 8. I'm definitely not winning here, but I'm also not dying yet. I feel like I should. Oh, there's a Jaspera Sentinel. That's actually pretty bad for me considering, because now I can't keep it. I can't attack for 8 without losing a bird now. Now the problem is if I draw Blight Priest, it's almost like it's too late because most of the creatures have already been played. I mean, it might stop them from playing creatures potentially, but even like a Korean Ranger is going to be so bad for me. Like they're gaining so much here. They're going to like outpace my life gain soon with this one Well-Wisher. I can take 10. And I'm going to cycle this on upkeep. I think it's worth the mana to thin. Let's just get a swamp. Okay, got punished. Not punished, but just didn't get rewarded basically. So we drew the Night's Whisper, but then we didn't draw much after that. Looks like they may have just drawn land. What a funny game. They didn't attack. Interesting. I wonder if they just kind of messed up there. Soul Warden. I mean, I'm gonna just keep playing these things out. I'm not going to attack again because I don't want to lose a Hawk just to get in 7 damage when they're at 58. Plus they're gaining like a million per turn. Okay, another Sentinel. I have to stack these. Yeah, can I just draw Blight Priest, please? Then every creature that enters the battlefield, they'll be like losing 6 life after that. This game would have been so much different if we had one. But, I mean, we can't always have one. It's kind of the nature of the deck. So they do have a massive Vanguard, but it's just a 12-12. I can keep taking for now. They're at 71. They're not attacking. Why? I think I'm actually just supposed to hold Battle Screech until I draw Blight Priest. It's not doing anything to play it right now, because I'm not attacking anyway. Why aren't they attacking with their Vanguard, though? They could just be getting in for 12 per turn. I don't understand. Maybe they just think the damage isn't relevant, but I really think it is. If they draw like Winding Way or Lead the Stampede, it's going to be brutal for me. But if I draw Blight Priest, could start doing stuff. Okay, there's 14 damage. Okay, I'm going to take. Could chump as well. They gain 1,000,000. Cast down. So I can cast down the Well-Wisher or the Vanguard. I kind of need to take out the Well-Wisher. I mean, Vanguard is dealing me a bunch of damage, but is that worse than them gaining like infinite? I mean, they have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 creatures, so they're gaining 15 per turn, but I'm taking 14 per turn, but I can always just start chumping this. They have 3 potential blue sources out, so I can't take them off blue. I think I just need to kill Well-Wisher, as funny as that is. Just going to keep holding Battle Screech. I can take 14 or more a couple more times. But then I can start chumping later. There's no rush to start chumping. What a funny game. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm not going to be able to cast both of these right away, but again, they're not doing anything yet. I can even take another hit here because I have so much life gain in my hand. I wonder if they have a negate or something. Something weird. Oh, this is a draw spell. Alright, now I think I lose because I needed to find a Blight Priest before they did that. Because now they can just play a bunch of creatures. And yeah, I gain life, but that's not going to be enough. I needed to be draining them for like 5 or 6 every creature they play. Or even 12 because of Lysolana, but just looks like we probably weren't able to get there here. These triggers just like make it kind of hard to play this. I think I probably can just chump this turn. I don't know if I need to, but we'll see. I'll probably play 1 Battle Screech next turn, maybe not flash it back. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do enough damage. They also have Essence Ward and still gaining them life. Pretty funny, they just out life gained me here. I mean, not really. I've taken like 40 or 50 damage off this, so I think I've actually gained more life than them, but at the same time, like, they're doing other stuff, and if they just Timberwatch Elf here, just going to be dead to that, right? Sentinel, sure. Yeah, see, they couldn't have done this if I had Blight Priest in play, because then each time, every creature that comes in, especially with Lysolana, gives me like 2 creatures worth of triggers. So that would be they lose 5 life and I gain 4 life every creature they play, and then that times 2 basically. So they lose 10, I gain 8 every creature they play. But couldn't find it. So I think we're going down here. Because they can probably just play another Distant Melody, draw their deck, and they should have some way to win. Maybe they make a mistake and draw too many cards, but I just don't see that being a possibility because of Timberwatch Elf. They can just pump and okay, they are Distant Melodying again. I mean, I should be dead right now, like this turn, but I'm just not going to concede um, because maybe they accidentally draw their entire deck and they mill themselves. And I want them to like show me they can successfully combo here. So they have 7 cards in library. They have essentially infinite mana with Priest plus Quarian Rangers that they have. I think this matchup's actually not that bad for us because our inherent game plan, if we have Priest, is good against them. And then we also get to bring in like two suffocating fumes. Could even bring in some number of like prismatic strands. But I don't know if I'll bring in strands. Could even bring in duress. Might just be a little loose. I wonder if I should bring in Shields of Velasvale for like an electricity from them, but I don't think I'm going to. They don't usually have that effect. I might just bring in two fumes and call it a day. But I could, like I said, bring in two fumes, two duress. I could just side out all my unearths because, as you can see, creatures aren't really dying in this matchup. I played one cast down and that's it. Timberwatch Elf is definitely a problem in this matchup, that's for sure. There's Quarian. Also, I can just get like ahead a couple minutes on time just in case the match goes really long. They might not have a way to kill me right now, but they also might be able to. I mean, I am like at 100. They're at 86 as well. It's so funny. They have 29 cards in hand. They should be able to cast all those. I don't even think they really have an answer to Blight Priest, so that's one reason why I kind of do like this matchup. They're also a little bit faster than us, though, so kind of have to rely on Blight Priest and Fumes post board. Like they have a 28-28, but I mean I'm at 102 and I can just chump right now. They could have the 4 drop. It's like a 4 mana 4/3 elf, and for 8 mana it gives target creature, is it +5/+5 and trample? So they could have that, but even with that, I don't think they kill me this turn. But I still probably can't win. They would also be losing life as well, every creature, but they have Essence Warden, so that actually, this isn't even draining them at all either. Okay, there's Invoker. Okay, I'll just concede to that. I mean, they can literally make so much mana. Like, how many creatures do they have? Maybe 30 creatures. And then they have double, or they have triple Corian they haven't used yet. And this, so they can make like, I don't even know how much mana. 30 times 5, like 150 mana. And then just activate this, kill my board, and then start attacking. So I knew they would probably be able to win. I just also wanted to see what they have. Okay, I think these can come out. They're not really killing my stuff. I think I can just do this. I don't think Strands is actually that good. I guess Guardian's Pledge is good. Maybe I just don't bring in Duress. Nabbing their draw spells early is good, but this can be a dead card because they're going to play their draw spells. Mm-mm. Could just try to nab them. Seems like a reasonable option. Thraben's not bad at just drawing a card. I guess Palace Sentinels is pretty risky in this matchup because they have so many creatures that they can just take the Monarch potentially. I could just sideboard like this. I kind of like it. Like maybe with a Guardian's Pledge last game, I could have done something. Yeah, let's just double check everything. Crimson Acolyte, no. Again, they could have Electricity, but I'm not going to play around it yet. Strands can be reasonable because like it can stop multiple attacks, but I don't think I want that either. I didn't even see a Timberwatch Elf from them. Maybe they just weren't playing it, but I've played this matchup like twice. Not with this. I haven't actually played this new updated version of the deck yet, but I've played this matchup twice, and I think I've won once and lost once. Both times against Mardu Scout, which is a fun opponent to play against. Let's see. Keep this hand. Elves does have to mulligan a lot because they have such a low land count, but it looks like they kept. All right. So I could just lead Barons and then go turn 2 Warden plus Barons or get my Hawk down, but I think I'm supposed to just lead Barons here. We don't have a Blight Priest yet, but I'm not going to mulligan this hand. I don't think I should. I have double Night's Whisper. I can try to draw into my fumes here. Just keep getting these tap lands out of the way. I don't want to see Timberwatch Elf. Priest of Titania could be bad as well. Well Wisher's kind of bad, but it's honestly not the worst. Especially if I'm able to fumes at any point. It's going to be sweet. So I can just go play Soul's Attendant, play Hawk. Or I can go play Soul's Attendant, play Night's Whisper. I almost want to Night's Whisper first. Like the 1/1 flying's not really doing anything against Will Wisher, and I just want to draw Fumes or Blight Priest, so I guess I can just start with Night's Whisper then. Okay, there's a priest. Let's just play this. Yield. Pass. So I'm in a pretty precarious position, but I can draw some more cards. Okay, there's a Priest of Titania. So yeah, I just need to find Fumes. Korean Ranger, okay, they can gain infinite, it's fine. It's weird that the box was down here now. Not sure why. Scattershot Archer? Okay. Maybe I moved it down there at some point. Not sure. Okay, they Well Wisher. Yeah, this can kill my flyers, but that's not the biggest deal. I can just use these for triggers later, hopefully. All right, they're gaining a ton of life. All right, let's lead Night's Whisper. Fumes, please. Duress. And there's a Bonders too. Right, let's Duress them. Just more 1 toughness stuff. Just play Barons, pass. The good news is I'm not really under any pressure yet. We know they have these 2 cards. They'll probably play Well Wisher. Okay, Fumes, please. 2 out of 46. I can get Bonders down. Maybe I was supposed to play Priest at some point, but it doesn't matter too much. I just need to Wrath the board. That's how I win. Okay, they have 0 cards in hand. They could potentially start attacking. I am at 34, so I can take some damage. I cannot play Hawks into their scatter shots. Okay, and there is Blight Priest, finally. So let's go play land, play this, start triggering stuff. This way I drain for 1 more damage, playing the Blight Priest first. Now they know what we're about. Doesn't really matter though, they're gaining like so much per turn at this point. I still need to find Fumes before they find some way to pump their creature's toughness. Okay, it's fine. So they get drained for 3, I gain 2. They have a forest in hand. They gain infinite. Oh, yes, I want to use the ability. I think they still have just a forest in hand. They just drew this. Another priest, okay. So I can go cycle Ash Barons. I don't even know if I need to, I can just play it. I don't want to commit Hawk yet, right? I want to wait till I have like more Blight Priests. So if I go cycle, I can still play Bonder's Ornament plus Priest. So I think this is fine. Then I can start drawing extra cards with Ornament. Priest. Now let's set up all my triggers. They're going to gain a bunch. It's just going to come down to if I can ever draw fumes. Oops, I turned off all my auto yields. I just wanted to set up my triggers. I guess I'll have to do it here. Okay, Lead the Stampede is not good for me. They hit 5 creatures. God. Double Corian. I mean, hopefully they just actually commit everything, and then it makes my fumes better when I do draw it. So let's see what they do here. I'm not sure. I think they have priority right now. All right, let me set up these triggers again. What? I don't know what's happening here. Am I lagging out? I thought they were lagging out. It looks like it's on me. Let's see here. No, looks like we might be fine. I have no idea what's happening right now. Yield. Yes, yield. I guess I had to not yield to that first one. I might have to redo this. It's annoying. Why won't it let me always yes? Because it's always yielded already. It's annoying. Let me just set it up again. Gotta set up the triggers correctly or it's like pretty annoying. Like gonna like time out from all these triggers. I mean, I'm probably just gonna lose here, but I need to draw fumes. Okay, so always yes, and then okay, and always yes, and now always yield. Okay, now we should be set up. Now I can F6. Like even at this point, fumes might not be enough. They're gonna gain a lot of life. I mean, if I go fumes and then start triggering like multiple blight priests after that, that might be enough then. I had originally 3 fumes in the sideboard, and maybe I should go back to that. Of course, it sounds good when I'm playing against elves, but they still don't have a Timberwatch elf. So I think they're just committing everything to the board. They're probably assuming I just don't have any answer. They can gain so much life here though. They have multiple Corian Rangers. That, like this drain isn't even doing anything to them. Pretty crazy. So I think they just have a forest in hand. Lead the Stampede, draw 5. It is pretty nuts. If I draw fumes, I'll probably just play it on my turn. That limits their life gain and their mana. Alright. Drawing Hawk was obviously bad. Priest. I could play Hawk to prevent drawing future Hawks, but I don't know if I want to. Now I'm gonna have to reset up these triggers every time. It's weird that it let me always yes to that one. That doesn't really make sense to me. So I can't even draw a card with Ornament and play Fumes unless I draw an untapped land. I can't always yes to it. I don't even think I can stop yielding to it either. I'm just gonna click yes at this point. I don't want to set these all up again. They're just like still gaining so much life. I'm still thinking with the Fumes I can win this. They're just at they might get out of range at some point here though. They're at 169. Okay, there's Basilica. There's a cast down. I think I saved cast down for a Timberwatch Elf to survive longer. I could play a Hawk to thin. Yeah, they get to shoot it, but I think it's worth. Their creatures aren't going to have haste. I mean, I guess if they ever find Valka Invoker, I probably die to that too, but I think that's okay. Yes. Yes. Just thin these two Hawks and pass. I mean, also, if they started attacking with all, wouldn't that be pretty bad for me? Why are they not doing that? I guess because they don't. I only have one thing that's two toughness, so they should at least be attacking with like their tokens and stuff. And maybe these like Fintorn elves that don't really matter. They're at 231. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough here. Okay. Just gonna play this. I don't know why they're not attacking again. Maybe they just think that's not what's relevant. They don't want to take time. I'm just gonna F6 even though I have cast down here, because I just don't want to use too much time. And if I have to cast down on my turn, it's fine. They're not even using Scattershot Archer on my Hawk, which is funny. There's a lot to keep track of for sure, but it's still pretty funny. All right. Drawing extra cards here. Not finding Fume still. I mean, they're giving me an out. I mean, maybe not because they're at 300. I don't know if I can ever deal 300 before I mill. I think I can, though. Lead the Stampede, sure. Now they hit 1. Okay, so that was justice for them hitting 5 last time. So do they just have lands in hand? I think so. Gonna have to yes to one of these priests. Oh, I have to always yes to that one too. I may just need to reset up these triggers. I mean, I could just concede also, but again, I think I could even still win. Because if I just draw more Blight Priests after I draw Fumes, then any creature they play is going to be draining for a lot, and I can start attacking potentially as well. The problem is they're still going to have this, but okay, they're at 355. It's very quickly getting out of range. There's Bog, okay. I can Bog there, lead the Stampedes away. There's Guardian's Pledge. That is hilarious. That doesn't do anything. All right, I'll just Bog them. Because why not? Could play a Hawk, but I'll just discard a land. Land's not doing anything. Let's pass. Now I don't actually want to F6 either, which is pretty annoying. I mean, I could, but I wouldn't want to get blown out by anything when I could like respond with a Guardian's Pledge. And Magic Online just doing this, so annoying. It's like rearranging their board every time they tap. Okay, they're at 427. I think that's going to be just too much for us. I just kind of want to see how much they get to, though. It's just hard to like put all these triggers onto the stack effectively. Okay, always yes to that. Can I always yes to one of these too? Okay. Land, go. I mean, we've drawn half our deck now. We've drawn like 6 cards or something off Bonder's Ornament. This is showing me that like Bonder's Ornament is good. I don't think we can win at this point, but I think still Bonder's Ornament is better than Read the Bones. I just also want to see how much life they can get up to. Okay, there's land. There's land, okay. I want to hold these creatures for more triggers, for like extra Blight Priests and stuff post fumes, basically. All right, I am just gonna F6 here, whatever. They might also just be holding creatures in hand at this point as well. Okay, gain 1. I don't think I need any more lands. They're at 541, and I have 25 cards in library. Yeah, just not gonna happen. Especially with a grip full of cards for them. They could just be forests, but okay, there's Blight Priest. Gonna play it. Might as well start draining. But come on, how thick if I somehow win this game? That would be impressive of the deck, but I don't think I can. That is a lot of triggers. Okay, pass. They're still at 576. There's no way, right? With 23 cards in library, I just never found fumes. That'll happen. They're at 624. This is pretty hilarious. I don't know if they can draw with Distant Melody though, because maybe that mills them out. Thraben, redraw. Oh my god. All right, we're chunking them down. Okay. Let's crack Clue now. Knight's Whisper. I think I just cast it. I mean, I don't think there's any harm. And there's Fumes. Okay, I'm gonna cast it. Let's go cast Fumes. I mean, they could just have the spell at this point. Maybe I should wait. I should have waited till I drew Duress. But I only have 18 cards, so kind of have to just hope here. They're gonna gain some more life because they're worried about dying. They still are left with a reasonable board here. All right, so they gain a bunch more with both their well-wishers. It's so funny how it's also just messing up their board every time they tap. It just resolves. Okay. I could have also waited till double fumes. Maybe I was supposed to do that. So now I can just cast down Alyssa. I think that's the play. I can't kill both scatter shots. Oh, I guess I can. Maybe I do that because this actually drains them for more. So why don't I just attack for 1 and then cast down a scatter shot, and then next turn I can cast down scatter shot and then play all my flyers and start clocking them before I mill. Okay, they successfully found the trick. So let's just cast down this. I have to discard a card here. I guess I just discard Hawk. Could discard Thraben. Could have discarded like Cast Down or even Guardian's Pledge, but I actually think I do want Guardian's Pledge. All right, now I'm going to start trying to drain them out. I also have 2 more Blight Priests in the deck. They don't have that much mana anymore. Magic Online could be having a tough time with all these triggers too. Maybe that's why it's going slowly. It might not be able to like really handle all this. Yes. I also can't, I don't want to time out. I mean, I'm playing as fast as I can. It's hard with this lag actually. I have to win this game and then win the next game. Oh, this is using time off my clock when these triggers are down. No wonder I'm behind on time. Also could have set up the triggers a little bit better. Ah, another scatter shot is annoying. Because now my flyers, I don't have enough removal. My flyers can't actually get through. Am I supposed to kill Lissalana? I don't think so. Because that's adding more creatures to drain them with. I have to stack all these triggers and then it takes like 10 seconds for all these to resolve. Look at this. Started at 48. Oh no, it's going back up to 48. Okay. No, then down to 42, 39. Yeah, it took 8 seconds just to resolve the triggers. I don't think I'm going to be able to win because of that, actually. That's actually a really big downside. And they can just kill all these. I have to wait on these, actually, because they can just ping them all down. I guess what I can do, yeah, I guess I'm supposed to just draw a card. I just want to find more Blight Priests. I still do have 5 minutes. So I can cast down this. Am I supposed to cast down Lissalana? Maybe I am supposed to, but again, I drain them for more damage with Lissalana on the battlefield. So I think that's my only way to deal that much damage. Okay. I think I'm going to try to reset up my triggers one more time. I know I'm low on time, but I'm doing this because of that. So always yes, okay. Always yet. Oh, I have to always yield to this. Always yes, always yield. Always yield. Always yes. Okay. So now I'm figuring out how to do it, but I feel like I'm just going to time out here. Always yes. Okay. Always yes. Always yield. F6. So they're losing like 12 life or something per creature, is that right? Or is it 24? Because each creature counts as two bodies, and I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I'm not sure. I think four of my triggers drain for 8, 9, 10, 11. I think they lose 11, if I'm not mistaken. It's hard to do the math and play fast. I think they're losing 11 per creature they play right now. And then every creature I play is 4 or 5 is 14 damage. Okay, they're drawing cards. I want to draw another Blight Priest before I play all these creatures out. Because they're just going to die to this. I do have a Guardian's Pledge, but I don't know if that matters. They're at 5. They're at 600 life. Blight Priest? Okay. I think I am supposed to draw. I could draw another Fumes as well. Oh my god, Magic Online. Please, please. I have to always yes and always yield to these two. There's just no way. I just don't have enough time. Always yes, okay. Always yes, okay. Always yes, always yield. Always yield. Crack clue. There's Fumes. Let's go. Cast Fumes. Pass the turn. I have 11 cards in library. I have 3.5 minutes. I mean, just to get all these triggers onto the stack, I feel like it's going to take too long. Interesting that they're playing another Lissalana. I wish that I had more time here. Oh my god. So I started at 315. Let's see, after this Lissalana and the token resolves from it, let's see how low I go on time. I'm F6. I just can't even put my triggers onto the stack. It's just too tough for Magic Online. That's what happens when you play like a program from the 90s or whatever this is from. They're at 557. They're just going to time me out with my triggers. Essence Warden. Okay. This is so funny. There's no way. I look at this. Well, I don't think I actually had a chance, like I was saying, but it's still pretty hilarious. At least we get the walls out of it. I'll just keep trying till I time out. Oh, I have to like click more slowly. I think that like just to play for the opponent to play those two creatures, I feel like that took like 30 seconds off my clock. It's annoying. Is there a way to not have to stack these triggers? I don't think so. I think I have to stack them myself. I mean, I have a good computer. It's not like that my computer's not good enough. That's why I'm lagging. So it's definitely just a problem with Magic Online. I mean, this game has definitely been worth regardless. Yeah, it took a minute for them to play like three creatures, and there it's even gonna take more time because this is gonna make another token. I have to stack all these triggers every time. Well, I can probably request reimbursement for this league, honestly, if I want, because like we've already dealt what they were at 639 or something. I've already dealt like 100 damage, and with all these token makers, I could actually deal more damage, but I can't. If I can't play my cards, then it sucks. Yeah, that took 2 minutes for them to play like three creatures. So how? There's no way that I can play all these. I'll just try to next turn to see what happens. Okay, on my side, it's like sort of letting me stack them. All right, GG's. Pretty funny. All right, let's go round two. All right, after that hilarious end to round one, we're against M Goblin. See if they're on Gobos. Yeah, keeping this hand. This looks like a Soul Warden hand to me. Just lead Barons. See what they're on. Is it Goblins? If it is, that should be a good matchup. I mean, my Soul Warden, if it gets bolted, that's going to be bad. I could play Thraben first, but that just doesn't really make sense to me. Just going to play Soul Warden. I could have gone Cycle Ash Barrens for Plains, play Soul Warden, But I kind of like this line better, honestly. Gruul Turf. Okay, it looks like we're up against a brew. I don't know what deck plays Gruul Turf. It's not goblins, that's for sure. Okay, let's get plains. Probably just play a Blight Priest here and then start draining. If they don't have an answer, it's better just to get it down early. They discard Pulse. I gotta get better at like setting up the triggers properly the first time because that took a couple minutes off my clock. So even though we lost that first match, I did learn something about setting up triggers properly if I'm like trying to play competitively. So it's just something interesting. Oh, I thought they were gonna play a cannonade. I was like, no. Are they gonna play a lightning bolt? Looks like no. Okay, well, I could Knight's Whisper, but I think I like just Priest into Thraden. That seems good to me. See if they have a bolt here. They do. Okay. Okay. Got him down to 17. With a land, I could have jammed the Ray or Palace Sentinels here. This looks. Oh, this is just Jund. It's just Jund. Okay, duh. I should have known by this. Okay, there's another Blight Priest. So they do have a lot of removal, but still just going to jam Blight Priest, I think. I think I'll start by attacking with all and then play a Blight Priest. Again, I could play like a Knight's Whisper, try to draw a land, but. Oh my god, that was a misclick. That sucks. That really sucks. I tried to click land, 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 and I clicked land, land, and then clicked just to the side here. And then, wow, they have Fumes main. This is kind of a rough matchup too. Yeah, I tried to click land, 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 but I clicked land, land, floated 2 mana, and then just clicked on the clue, and it just auto cracked it. Lightning. Okay. I mean, I kind of do want Hawk. Am I just discarding Knight's Whisper at this point? I could just discard Blight Priest at this point too. Feels bad. I mean, I was definitely in rough shape regardless this game. Oops. Almost misclicking all over the place here. I think I will attack. Now I'll just play Knight's Whisper. I need to hit lands now. Alright, well that's not good. It is a land, but it's a tap land. Just main deck Fumes. They have a million removal spells. Pretty decent top end. Yeah, it's gonna be rough here. I could play a Palace Sentinels. They often play a couple Thorns themselves. It's not like this matchup is just a loss, though. We even have Triple Unearth, which is good against them. All right, Packmate. I haven't actually played Jund yet, surprisingly. So I could just go Battle Screech, Flashback, Battle Screech right now. Could play Double Hawk. I can just play Hawk and then cast down this. I think that's the best line. Then it also gives me some Hawks to play around future Lightnings with. Just Hawks in hand, I mean, to play around these with. Okay, let's pass. I think Dog wants to come say goodnight. What's up, bud? He always just stops in. Another lightning bolt here? Or a terminate or something? Cast down. Okay. Yeah, we really want to face matchups where they don't have a bunch of interaction for our combo of Soul Sister plus Priest into Pulse that they cannot cast. Okay. So I get to cast down one, and then I can go to one, or I can chump the 6 power thing. Oh, they're Pulse targeting our Ashburns just so they gain 6. Sure. I'm gonna have to just chump this boarding party here, I think. I just don't want to go to one. I guess I can just chump with the Raven. Rather keep my flyer, I suppose. So I can go Screech, Flashback, Screech. I guess that's the line. I don't gain any life off it. I have to chump boarding party again. I can actually just bounce Bog here. It is good to just keep bogging them. I don't want them to be able to play more pulses on their own stuff. I have to just take 3 again. Next turn I can play a Palace Sentinels though. Maybe start stabilizing. That was so funny when the trigger was just like going like back and forth. It wasn't letting me put it on the stack. Okay. Let's go Soul Warden. Play Palace Sentinels. Play Bog. No attack. Could attack with like 1 or 2 birds. Cast down. Okay. Don't get any triggers off that. I get to be the Monarch. Let's bog them. Is this going back down there by itself? Having trouble just organizing my game here. Okay. So I can attack with one thing. That plays around 1 removal spell. Terminate on Palace Sentinels. Cast down, same thing. I think it's just safer to not attack. Okay. I could even just triple block a boarding party here and then chump a packmate. I think that's better. I guess I get crushed by any removal spell here. Maybe it's better just to go chump chump. I think I'm going to go for this. Pretty far behind, so I need to make something happen. Yeah, their deck is just so many removal spells. They played triple cast down, fumes, terminate, bolt, lightning. So I can just play some hawks, try to retain the monarch. They're gonna play a thorn here or a packmate. Yeah. I mean, this feels like it's super over. Again, I don't hate this matchup overall. It's not great. This isn't what I want to face, but yes. Always yes. It's weird that it always lets me always yes on these on my turn. I'm not sure why that is. Just gonna cycle now before Monarch trigger. Okay, there's Unearth. But do I have to block all 3 or can I take 3 and give them the Monarch? Okay. Jesus, Cannonade and Fumes main. Yeah, this is gonna be rough. Okay, let's try Shields of Vela's Veil. I always say Veil. Shields of Vela's Veil. Jesus. I think they're going to have more Wraths also. I could just bring in Duress. They have like a million removal spells that I can take as well. Strands, I'm not too sure about. I think it is worth it. It's just a good value card that can potentially counter 2 removal spells that deal damage. I could also bring in Acolyte. They have Bolt and cannonade. They probably have more cannonades. They might honestly just have more fumes. Could also bring in disenchants for their ornaments. It's a lot of things to bring in. I think I can actually just go down on the Soul Sisters package. Like maybe I just don't need Priest. I think Blight Priest I do want to keep in. Can go down on Sisters. Again, I think I can just lessen my like Soul Sisters package here, and that will make me better in the matchup. But maybe I'm just wrong in doing that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure like what else to cut though. Could cut a Blight Priest if I'm cutting all this stuff. I could cut like even two Blight Priests and just be more of like a Squadron Hawk Battle Screech deck with protection. I've never taken this sideboard plan, but I think it's actually decent against a deck with so much removal. I can't really reliably keep these in play anyway. So I think I like this. I could just do something like this. Can even just side out all my unearths actually. If I'm going down on Blight Priests. Maybe I'm supposed to go down on like Soul Wardens even farther. Because they died to all the wraths, but again, maybe I'm not supposed to be sideboarding like this at all. So let's see. I don't hate cutting some of these. It's good against Wrath. I don't have that much time to sideboard here. I think I would rather rely on my Flyers plan. I think that's a better game plan. I think I'll just do this. I can side out a second Unearth and then keep in a Blight Priest. Guess that makes sense to me. Not really sure. Maybe Disenchant's just not good, but I think keeping them off Ornament is pretty strong. All right, 0 lands. I'll keep this. Just put back a Plains here. This hand looks fine. We can't really beat a Wrath, but I mean that's kind of true with this deck regardless, right? Okay, Meyer on turn 1. Interesting. Just Hawk and get all 3 Hawks. Get 3 Hawks, attack for 1. And next turn I can play Barons plus Hawk, and then the turn after that Battle Screech, and just not play around a Wrath. Just go all in. I could flashback Screech or not. We'll see what I choose to do, but kind of depends like what lands they play, how they play out the game. Yeah, if they play a removal spell, that means most likely that they do not have Wrath. So let's go Hawk. No. Basilica. Bug right here. Attack for 1. I probably will just go Screech plus Flashback Screech because I don't think I can really beat a Wrath without actually committing some pressure to the board. And if I just give them time to find Wrath, it's going to be bad for me anyway. Lightning. Okay, I can definitely discard land. I wonder if I'm supposed to discard Scoured Barons, actually. I think I am. Could discard 1 Hawk or another land, just 2 lands. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm supposed to just discard 2 lands and keep all my pressure. All right, let's just stick to the plan. And I mean, them playing a removal spell makes it more likely that they don't have Wrath. They certainly still could have it, but I think I just need to commit here. It still looks like I committed like a ton to the board, but it still was just the 1 card. So, okay. Yeah, see, no Wrath yet. So this is kind of how I win the matchup. Now if I draw like a Shields or a Strands, then I can actually win. Okay, they mire. Let's just go with Thraben Crack now, I think. I don't think I need to play more Hawks now. Sit I hit for 6 damage. I have a 3-turn clock as it is. Just crack now. Okay, Sentinels is actually a really good draw. I could play one more Hawk, because if I get Wrath here, am I going to win? I don't think so. So I think I'm actually just committing. If they had a Wrath last turn, wouldn't they have played it? It's just like, makes sense to me. Why would they just want to take 6 damage? Maybe just to hope I commit even more to the board. But yeah, I think I'm just going in. Okay, Soul Warden, it's fine. I think I'll just start by attacking. Not with this. I think I attack with all my flyers though. I can still play Soul Warden plus Palace Sentinels here. I don't even know if I need to. I think it is worth it though. Get to take the Monarch here. Gain 1 life. Sure. Basic land cycle. Okay, so I think it's basically Wrath or Bust for them at this point. They could play a Pulse Marasa. They're going to play a removal spell. Okay. I still have 2 blockers back. Another Screech is actually nice. Now if I get Wrath, I could still win just by going like Screech plus Hawk plus Flashback. They should have a lot of Wraths post board, but maybe because they already have a couple main, they don't have more. And we just need to try to draw like a Shields game 3 here if we can win this one. Sometimes you just gotta jam and just commit. This game is not over though. They could still come back for sure. They go like Pulse Marasa, go up to 10, play a removal spell, untap, draw a Wrath. You know. If they attack there, I could have even considered double blocking, but I don't think I would have. Should I just Knight's Whisper to start? I think I should. I think I'm going to. Because if they don't respond with a Wrath, then I could still draw shields. Okay. Let's attack with all my flyers, that is. Bolt 1. Okay. That was weird. Okay. Definitely do not want Guardian's Pledge. They're like an all removal Wrath deck. Set it out a Blight Priest, which might just be wrong. I have 1 Unearth. Because I could try to keep all my Blight Priests plus all my Unearths. But I don't want to cut Knight's Whisper, Hawk, or Battle Screech, that's for sure. I also don't think I want to cut Palace Sentinels because if their draw is literally just all removal spells and I just curve out into Sentinels, that's a way I can win. Also, Strands plus Sentinels is pretty nice post board. I could not bring in Acolyte and Disenchants, but this turning off all their bolts, turning off their terminates, abrades, cannonades, seems like it's good enough, especially as a one of. Maybe I just don't want Disenchant. Is it too narrow just answering Ornament? They could have even sided out an Ornament or two. Could bring in my last Blight Priest and just have 1 Disenchant. I feel like answering Ornament is huge, especially if they have to mulligan or something and then they just like are relying on an Ornament for card advantage. This matchup could certainly go long. I'm going to keep him in. I'm just going to run it again. Looks like a weird configuration, but I'm just trying to match their value basically. Battle Screech is pretty massive in this matchup. I think I'm supposed to keep. I need to draw lands, but Thriving, sure. Okay, there's the shields. I can play a Hawk next turn. I need to draw a land. foretell a packmate. Okay, it's kind of annoying. Oh, that was the worst possible draw. It's so annoying that when you draw a hawk, like right when you're about to play hawk. Could not even get one, but I think I am supposed to at least get one. I could have gotten two and then discarded like a Battle Screech, but I don't want to discard Battle Screech, even though I'm tight on mana. Okay, there's Visionary, sure. And no land for us. Brutal. I can cycle an Earth to try to hit a land. I think I'm supposed to do that. I could also just play a Hawk and miss my land drop. Sounds so bad. Let's try to hit a land. Nice. Kind of got bailed out there though, because that's actually one nice thing about Thraben is for one mana you convert like a card in your hand into a card on the table, and it can make space in your hand, which actually can be relevant more than you think. So they still have a Packmate. They're playing a Penumbra Spider. I am fine with a Penumbra Spider. All right, I'll take two. Land? Not quite. I could draw a card. I could just commit one Hawk. I think I'm supposed to just play a Hawk. And I'll get another Hawk here. And no attacks. Now if they Blightning me, I'll discard at least one of these Battle Screeches. It would be annoying if they go Blightning into Bog, but nothing I can do about that. Another Visionary. Okay, I'm just kind of getting outvalued here, but maybe I can come back. I'm gonna bounce a basic, yeah. I also do want to leave up shields. Okay. So now I can just play Blight Priest to leave up shields. I can also just go Screech plus Flashback, but then I don't have shields up. Shields up. So let's just go Blight Priest here. I know I don't trigger anything yet, but I still think it's the line. I'm at 19. Cast down, okay. They have a lot of power on board now. So I'm gonna have to commit something here. I really do want to draw land. Boarding party? Yeah. I think I'm just dead into Penumbra Spider. Jeez. So do I have to chump this boarding party? I suppose I can just triple block it. I don't want to play shields here, I don't think. Doesn't seem good to me. Because I can shields and then just trade like two Hawks for shields and two Hawks for boarding party. But I, again, do not think that's good. I think I'm just going to triple block. They don't have mana up for a removal spell. I think this is my best line. It does make my Screech plus Flashback Screech worse, so maybe that was wrong. I'm just like so much on the back foot now. It's just going to be tough regardless. So I have to just take a bunch of damage here, I believe. And maybe it was even just supposed to play Screech, but I was just planning to do that next turn. I need to keep at least one Hawk alive. So I'm taking a bunch of damage here. 7, 8. I can chump one thing, take 8 damage, go to 6. Yeah, I just don't think I can win. Got outclassed here. I mean, maybe I should have mulliganed this hand. I feel like it was close. They're going to play like a Thorn here, or just another Packmate. All right. GG's. 0-2. Rough start. I'll keep playing for now. Let's go round 3. All right, welcome to round 3. We're against G. Philippi. Played this opponent before. Keep this hand. They're on the play. They kept 7. Tron. Okay. What type of Tron is it? That we don't know yet. Soul's Attendant, not great against Tron historically. Okay, looks like it's probably just Flicker Tron here is my guess. So I can play out Basilica. I can cycle Unearth. But then I have to play an untapped land to cycle Unearth. That seems bad to me. I think I just play Basilica and attack. Next turn I can play Ornament. Then the turn after that I can play Screech, but it looks like we're just getting Troned here. Just getting super outclassed in this league. All right, got our Ornament down. We're attacking for 1. Dusk Legion Zealot? Okay, they're messing around. What? What is this? Tron vampires or something? Just doesn't matter what you do with Tron. Is it just Cascade Tron with like all the creatures that draw a card or something? Everything draws a card in the deck? Okay, I sack a creature. I can actually unearth that and then Battle Screech, Flashback Screech, Rager. Okay. Looks like they're just mono black Tron, is my guess. That's a much better matchup for us than Flickertron, that's for sure. So let's unearth this. And then Screech, Flashback Screech. They could easily have like some type of Wrath, but most of the Wraths in black require you to use all black mana on them. So I don't know if they're going to have like a Pestilence or anything. All right, I'm definitely taking here because I want to use my birds to pressure their life total. I have no clue what's going on. This is what happens in the O2 bracket. Mole Drifter, okay. They could easily have flicker effects with all these draw triggers. Just playing a bunch of, maybe they're playing like these blue and black creatures and a bunch of like ghostly flickers and stuff. All right, they cast down my Soul Warden. This 2/2 is actually kind of annoying. I mean, I can cast down it and attack. Yep, there. It looks like they're just Black Tron. That's my guess. All right, let's go. Cast down your Drifter. Bog you. I feel like I still just unearth Soul Warden. I feel like it's better than cycling it. I could be wrong here, but if they play more creatures, I get to keep gaining life. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I went for it though. That was a pretty good bog. Could go up to 2 bog in the main. Bog has been like continuously impressive. Even if it's a tapped black source, not a white source even, but just the effect is just really strong on a land. And then if I go 2 bog main, I could even consider cutting the spellbomb from the board. Sweet. I have to reset these triggers every time they come like in and out of play. It's kind of weird. 5 mana. Gray Merchant, okay. So they're just mono black Tron control. And I'm actually losing at this point. That's pretty embarrassing, to be honest. I could still win here, but I need them to not have any more Garys. And I don't want to draw with Bonder's Ornament because I don't want us each to draw a card. But at least I'm stopping them from drawing 2 cards per turn. Or if they do, I get to draw as well. All right. They're going to have us each draw. I'm just going to keep taking hits from their creatures. Again, I just need them to not have more gray merchants, but it looks like they do. It's a lot of damage. All right, I go to 13, and then I'm taking a million. Do they have another gray merchant? So embarrassing here. They probably have fumes. They have to have fumes in the sideboard, right? Gray merchant? Oh man, this is rough. All right. Disenchant's coming in, duress. I think duress coming in because if I just take prisms or bonder tournaments, it's pretty good. I wonder if I want shields just to counter fumes. Like, how could they be mono black Tron without having fumes? That just doesn't add up to me. I think I'm gonna bring it in. Palace Sentinels seems a little risky. They have like a bunch of just actual creatures. Cast Down does not seem that good to me actually. Most of their creatures just cycle. They could have though like um, the thing that pings creatures. No, that's black black. Can they really play a black black 2 drop? I don't think so. I wonder if this card should just not be in the deck. I wonder if I can do a rework without this card and play a card I've wanted to try to make work is oh god, I'm blanking on the name. Seeker of the Way, the 2 mana 2/2 with lifelink. And then I could just play more non-creature spells somehow. Just like more removal spells. And just be like Unearth, Seeker of the Way, and I could still have just this small Soul Worn package with all these token makers. That seems actually pretty reasonable to me. I think I'm taking out Cast Down. I need to cut 4 more cards. I can go down here. I could just cut Suture Priest though. It's 2 mana. I think it's just worse than my 1 drops. Yeah, maybe these just aren't supposed to be in the deck. I mean, I think they're fine when I've played them in other matchups, but yeah, maybe it's just not quite strong enough. All right, definitely keeping this hand. I could lead Soul Warden. Not only do you have to not always yes and yield to the trigger, you only have to yield to it. And I like the old border better. I like the look of this card better than this card. Okay. I was going to play Barons. I think actually I still will, because then I can play Blight Priest next turn. So I think I'm just supposed to go Barons, Soul's Attendant. I'm just going to hope they don't have Fumes here. And even if they do, they just kill these 2 things. All my other things have 2 toughness at the moment, so maybe I can just drain them out with Blight Priest this game. I mean, they could easily just have a removal spell for it. They're like mono black, so. Okay, looks like we're set up on the triggers now. Get them to 15. And kind of putting the pressure on them to have to cast a removal spell on Blight Priest here. Looks like they're going to. Yeah, they just snap it off. They have a Bog. It's actually annoying because my Unearth would have been a good draw there. I don't know if I need to play another Soul's Attendant yet. I mean, I suppose I could just get Plains and then just play all 3 of my creatures out. I think that's what I'm actually going to do. It's kind of a weird line here, but I think I like it. Just not play around any wrath. I think that's what I want to do. No cards in hand. Let's go. Hit them to 13. I can start drawing cards with these clues slowly. There are 2 land drops off Tron. It's a funny brew. Okay. That was a good top deck, considering. Wow. I mean, it makes sense. I knew they would have some type of wrath. I kind of put them on fumes, but yeah, I wasn't playing around it. Rager, okay. Now any removal spell, they take the Monarch and they just win. Prism, sure. I think I'll start by drawing with Clue. Okay, there's a Shields. Not sure how much that actually does. Just remove those for whatever that's worth. No attacks. Monarch. Okay, there's an Unearth. It's not actually that great here either. Oblivion Strike the Palace Sentinels. Devoid, exile target creature. Jeez, okay. I have to chump here because I need to hold on to the Monarch. This card is actually pretty sweet against Mono White Heroic. I do like this card because they can't give something protection from black in response that says Devoid. So it's actually pretty cool. And it's just a fine removal spell, even if it's clunky. Duress. Right, let's lead Duress. Oblivion Strike, Cast Down, Triple Gary. No. No, not like this. So now they can just cast down my thing, take the Monarch. Oh, brutal. They can also start playing out their Garys. Well, looks like an 0-3 drop from this league for us. I think this deck isn't bad. Maybe this new build isn't where I want to be with the deck, but it seemed great on paper. I think we just didn't quite get there here. So I can unearth like a Thraben. I mean, that's obviously better than just cycling. They have the Monarch right now. They're at 10, so that's something. Let's just draw. Cycle. All right, let's pass the turn. Now the problem is also that they're just going to play a Gary. Chitter. All right. GG's Mono Black Tron. Mono Black Devotion Tron. Oh man, that felt pretty gross to lose to Mono Black Devotion Tron. I mean, I guess the deck isn't that bad, but yeah, it seems pretty rough. Okay, 0-3, we're dropping. Had fun. The first match was crazy, and my channel youtube.com/natbolt. I've been having some rough leagues recently. I'll see you in the next one. Until next time, peace.